Hi guys, so I wanted to make a video on how to get insanely overpowered right at the start of the game. There's been a patch recently where all of the old methods to get overpowered were nerfed pretty heavily. So gone are the days where you can frost stomp enemies to death in one go. And no more one-shotting bosses with the laser sword. I'm going to show you how to get all the stones to be able to make a +9 special weapon. And we're going to do it in around 35 minutes or so. This is one of the weapons that I'm going to show you how to get. It absolutely destroys Margot. I'm also going to show you how to get these other really powerful weapons, so stay tuned until the end. I'm also going to show you how to get enough seeds and tears to have 11 plus 10 flasks. So in this video we're going to be starting as the samurai, and we're going to have the golden seed as our keepsake. Now it doesn't really matter what class you pick at the start. The good thing about the samurai is that you are able to kill this first boss very easily. Now we're not going to do that now, but I will show how to do that in a future video. So in the first step, we're going to get our Horsie, we're going to get the first of the somber smithing stones, and we're going to get the left half of the Dectus medallion. And here is the route we're going to follow. So there's nothing too special about the start of this run. We're going to exit the beginning area, and we're going to head on our way to get Torrent. Now we do want to get this first sight of Grace here, because we will be coming back here later. I would also recommend walking around the tree sentinel here and not battling him. You can of course fight him if you really want to, but he's quite difficult at this stage of the game, so we're just going to run past. And we're going to run down here and we're going to get Torrent. Now we've got Torrent, I'm just going to put it on my hotbar and we're going to mount up and we're going to head east to get our first somber stone. Now I do pick up another stone on the bridge here, but it's not necessary and you can skip it if you want. And here we are at our first somber stone. So from here you just continue east past the waypoint ruins, and we're going to jump down our first spirit spring. Now continuing east down here, and pretty soon we'll come up to Fort Hate. So you want to grab the Grace at the bottom here. And we're going to continue around here, making sure to miss all of the enemies and the ballista that's firing at you, and we're going to get the golden seed. Now we just continue up through the fort, making sure to avoid all of the enemies until we get to the top. And at the top, we get the left-hand piece of the Dectus medallion. And now we just teleport to the Fort Hate site of Grace. In step 2, we're going to go on a nice little journey to Mars. We're going to get a flask of wondrous physic, some tears, and a golden seed. This is the first half of the path we're going to take, and here is the second half. So we're going to start by heading north, and we're going to pick up some tears for our wondrous physic flask. These aren't strictly necessary, but they're on the way, so we might as well pick them up. Continue on further north, and eventually we're going to pick up our flask of wondrous physic, as well as a sacred tear. And finally we're going to go northeast of the church, and we're going to go through this teleporter, which is going to take us to Mars. Now that we're in Mars, we're going to make sure we don't anger that guy, and we're going to get another golden seed. Continue following the path south and go over the bridge, making sure not to anger this dragon. Continue following the path south. We're going to go around this minor herb tree here, making sure to avoid the boss. And we're going to go up the spirit spring and reach Fort Fareth. For the next section, we're going to want a bleed weapon. If you don't have one, the Morning Star found here is a good one to use. In step 3, we're going to heartlessly murder a dragon having a nap. We're going to get the other half of the Dectus medallion, probably the best talisman in the game, and we're going to get 2 more smithing stone. this is the route that we're going to follow. So we're going to go into the fort and we're just going to run past everything, head to the ladder and climb up the ladder. At the top we're going to get the right hand piece of the Dectus medallion. We're going to continue on through the fort, drop down this hole here, grab this rune if we want to, go back on ourselves, drop down this hole, come around the corner, and here's the talisman. So now this part's optional, but you can teleport back to the first step, run around, jump down here and get this XP boosting item. Once done, we're going to head back to Fort Farath and we're going to kill the dragon. Now this guy has got an insane amount of hit points. This is what we want the bleed weapon for. Bleed does damage as a percentage of max HP, but even with that it still takes around 5 minutes to kill him. So just keep hitting him, and once he gets low we're going to pop the EXP item and we're going to get a lot of XP. So he's finally dead and we get around 100,000 souls, which is enough to take us up to about level 35. Now we're going to head northwest to get our final 2 Somber Stones. One of them is just down here underneath the tower. And the other one we get from killing the Scarab Beetle. Now be careful, when you kill him he does explode. You can knock him off the edge and that will still give you the stone. The next section we're going back to the gate front. In step 4 we're going to get some more seeds and tears. We're going to get an invitation to the Volcano Manor and we're going to get 3 more smithing stone. Here's the first half of the route. And here's the second half of the route. So we start by just running up the storm gate, run past all of these guys, try and avoid their attacks if you can. And we're going to grab this golden seed. And just follow this path to go around the back of Stormvale Castle into the lakes. And in this church we're going to find a sacred tear. I am going to run by the map just here. Pick that up if you want to, I'm skipping it just for speed purposes. And finally we want to grab the Site of Grace just on this rock. And now we're going to head over and speak to Rhea, who's going to give us an invitation to the Volcano Manor. Now there are a few different ways to get into the Volcano Manor. The faster way is to get eaten by an enemy in the academy, but this method is the easiest in my opinion. So she wants us to get her necklace back, who we get from this guy here. You can kill him if you want, but it's much easier just to buy it from him. So we go back to the Site of Grace near Rhea and we're going to go and give her her necklace back. When you give her back her necklace, she gives us the Volcano Manor invitation, which will allow us to enter the Volcano Manor a little bit later. So now we've got a long running section. We're going to get a golden seed and 3 more somber smithing stones. You can just buy these first 4 smithing stones from the blacksmith that we're coming up to shortly, but they're not really that far out the way, so I think it's worth picking them up. For this part you get magic arrows shot at you, and it's best to stick to the right hand side where you'll avoid pretty much all of them. And this path up here leads to Bellum Church and another sacred tear. And now because we got 2 parts of the Dectus medallion earlier, we can go up this lift and go into the Altar's Plateau. Sometimes when you come up here, Rhea won't be there, so you just come over to this grace point and rest, and then when you get back, she'll be there. Now talk to her, and because you've got the Volcano Manor invitation, it will teleport you to Volcano Manor. In step 5, we're going to walk across some lava to get our final 3 smithing stones. So now we need to talk to her, and she'll give us the drawing room key. And then we come over here, go into this room, and there's an illusory wall here that leads to Volcano Manor. There's a mini boss here that you're probably going to want to sneak past. And then we continue in and we grab this point of grace. Now if you haven't leveled up in this run yet, this is a great point to level up and sort out all your flasks and everything, because we're going to be going through some lava and you need quite a lot of health and some flasks to be able to survive it. So we're going to want to jump down here and then jump down onto this building here and jump into the lava. You can buy a dagger and use the weapon art here to go through the lava much faster. Once we're through the lava, you want to run around the backside of these buildings and grab the next somber stone. And then we want to run back this way and we're going to ride the cage up to get our next somber stone. Be careful of this tough enemy here as we go and activate the bridge. This part can be quite tricky. You're going to want to jump at an angle here to get onto the pulley system. And then we're going to jump and land on that ledge there and pick up our 9th and final somber stone. And as you can see, this route took us about 36 minutes to complete. Here I'm going to show how to get the remaining tears and seeds so that we can have 11 plus 10 flasks. This one in particular is very difficult. There's quite a hard NPC that you have to beat, and that's where you get his weapon from that I showed off in the showcase. So now I'm going to show a really cool trick that you can do. So the first step is that we want to buy a dagger. And then we're going to come over to this location here and we're going to kill this mounted knight who's going to drop the golden vow Ash of War. You can stick this Ash of War on the dagger that we just bought to give yourself a pretty decent attack and defense buff whenever you want. You just equip the dagger and use the Art of War. So here I'm going to show how to get the weapon from the introduction. You have to go down this very long lift to Siofra River well. And then you just follow this path to get to the boss. Now this boss is actually incredibly easy. There's a spot you can stand just behind his knee where the majority of his attacks will completely miss you. The only attack you have to look out for is this one where he raises up and you dodge it and then he does a follow-up, so just make sure that you move out of the way of that and then just get back into position behind his knee. And just like that, we've killed the boss and we've got the Dragon Halberd. This next weapon's very powerful, but the boss that you have to fight for it is very difficult, so don't worry if you can't get this one. And he only appears at night. The Bloodhound Fang is located in this Evergel and the boss is very simple. The golden halberd you get from killing the tree sentinel at the start of the game. Reduvia you get from killing an NPC just north of the lake in Limgrave. The Halo Scythe you get from killing these Rock Knights. It is a random drop, so you might have to kill quite a few to get it. The Winged Scythe is just in a chest here. Rosa's axe is in a catacombs located here. And that's it guys, I hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much for watching.